Hi, successful artists. My name is Katy Fryd, and welcome to my podcast series about how to make money online from your artwork and raising money for your art project using crowdfunding. This podcast is about budgeting for your project. I'll mention a bit about making sure you do all the maths correctly in a later podcast, but thought I should probably do a podcast specifically on this subject. Working everything out financially is such a great idea, it would be madness not to do it. After I budgeted for both of my projects, I realised what great experience it was for the future. When applying to the Arts Council, they expect you to do a budget, so it's best to get in some practice. So this is how it went with my projects. With the card project, I found a printer I liked and could work with solely online. If you prefer to visit one in person, then that is fine too. But for those who find it hard to get out and about, I have found a great printer, the details of which are in one of my YouTube videos. So please go and check out my channel, Katy Fryd TV. I worked out how many cards I could get for approximately £200. I also had to include the cost of envelopes, cellophane wraps and stickers, which the printer also supplied. I had decided to get a few tiers of card packages as rewards. 1, 2, 4, 10, 35 and 50. If I was to do this again, I would recommend less of a choice here. The majority of my customers bought 10 cards for £10. A couple bought 50 cards for £40, so it was worth having that higher level. I would also say a basic level for 1, 2 or 4 cards was a good idea for those who want to support you but maybe don't have quite enough money or needed to build up their trust with you. A few also bought the £20 tier for 22 cards. But if I was to do this again, I would recommend these tiers. £5 for 4 cards, £10 for 10 cards and £40 for 50 cards if your costings allow it. This also allows your customers to do a quick calculation in their heads easily to work out that £10 for 10 cards is a better deal than £5 for 4 and so on. And so they're more likely to upscale their backing. Also, keep in mind that you may not reach the total and you do not want to be out of pocket if you can't get the deal you wanted on the bulk card order. So make sure that you cost out for a smaller bulk order, and then the more you sell, the more of a profit margin you will make. Be careful to work out the website, PayPal, bank fees, postage, weights and sizes of the packages and the stationery, and any recorded postage costs. Also, put a small percentage of your budget aside for any problems. I kept proof of postage receipts for small orders, but used recorded labels for the larger packages, which was just as well as one large package did get returned to me. I did not charge the customer extra to repost it, as she had been very kind to back my project with a large sum, and luckily it was the only one not to get delivered. So I posted it again out of my budget for things that might go wrong. So it's always a good idea to have a little bit of your budget set aside for that. The first crowdfund I did was purely to raise a certain amount to get a good deal on printed cards. I had not wanted to live on any of the money that I made. Pretty much all of it that hadn't been set aside for fees, postage and stationery went towards the cards. But I did make a profit, in a way, because after I'd sent out all the cards that had been pre-sold, I still had a great deal of cards left over to sell in the shops, craft fairs, galleries and over the internet. You could set up your crowdfund differently so you do receive profit, but whatever you do, make sure you budget for everything. That's all from me for now. Make sure you listen to my next podcast about what needs to be included in the crowdfund video. If you think this podcast could be helpful to someone you know, please do share it with them. Thank you. Goodbye.